Hey guys, I'm James and welcome to the channel. Today we're taking a look at this little D-16 drone that they just came out with that is an exact replica of this DJI Neo. This one's this price on Amazon, like $35, $40, and this one is $200 with the remote and $300 with the remote, and this one comes with the remote and 2 batteries. They both have a camera, the camera moves up and down, and they both fly through the air and have the same orientation. But are they similar or are they completely different? Well, I'm gonna go fly it outside, and then we'll fly indoors and I'll show you the comparisons of these two drones. I don't think you'll be surprised on the difference of the quality, but is it worth buying this one if you want to get this one first? Because I've always said you need to buy one of these little micro mini drones to learn the orientation of a drone before you go buy a big drone and come home with something like this, because you got a shiny new toy and you can't wait to fly it, but you don't know how yet. So does this make a really good drone to learn how to fly on? And even though it looks just like it, does it even compare to the DJI Neo? Well, I'm going to go fly it outside, I'll fly it inside, I'll show you the camera and how it works. Then I'll sit down and go over the interface with the app and how to get the camera to work and the functions of the drone. Then we'll come back for our final review. So let's just go put this little Neo Clone up in the air. All right, the first time you put any drone in the air, don't just send it. Let it hover around for a little bit. Turn it left and right, kind of rock it back and forth. As you can see by the pond, there's no wind today, so it's really nice to fly a little mini drone outside because it doesn't have a GPS. But the gyro, when it does work really good. What the GPS is the drones that have satellites that lock into it. And so even if it's windy, it keeps its position. But this one, if it gets windy, the wind's gonna carry it away, but there isn't any today. So let it rock back and forth, kind of spin it around. I'll show you the camera in a minute. Just kind of get the orientation and the way they feel, because they all kind of have their own little quirks in the way that they turn and the way they pitch forward and back. But you'll start getting the hang of it. It's really good to learn how to fly a big drone when you can practice with a little one like this. And I always say try to have some kind of agenda once you get the orientation down. If you just aimlessly flying it around, it'll kind of get boring. So practice your skill set. Some people will pick it up really fast. Some people, it'll take a little bit longer if you're an old guy like me, but try to give yourself little challenges. Have it fly around you, facing away from you. Have it fly around you, facing towards you. Try to do figure eights. You'll be surprised how fast you'll really start to get the hang of the orientation of the drone. It's pretty easy on this one to see what's the front and the back. Some little mini drones, it's hard to tell. But as you can see, this one spins around pretty good. And then right here, I did not do that. That kind of, if that had been over the water, I'd have been in big trouble. This thing would have been gone. So every once in a while, this drone right here, it just kind of takes off. I'm not doing that. It just took off on me and it landed. So it kind of gets a mind of its own every once in a while. When they do that, it's good to let them reset. Don't just send it. Sometimes that gyro will get reset. So all these little drones are gonna have some kind of quirk. So at least I know that it's gonna do that. So I'll never put it over the water. So let's take a look at the camera. So here's what the interface looks like on the app on your phone. I'm doing a screen recording. You can see the timer in the top left-hand corner. You can switch it between video and photo. You can even flip the camera recording so for Instagram or TikTok. It's kind of shaky. The color saturation is kind of off. Here's what it looks like when you record it. So you're not seeing the interface with the app right now. Again, it's kind of shaky, but you know, it is $45 for a drone or $40. You can't expect it to fly good and have a good camera. And here's the pictures with a little bit of color editing. They may not be too bad. Be really good practice to do this with the drone, just so you kind of get the hang of how hard it is to take a video and pictures. All right, so now that I kind of got used to the drone, I'm going to start doing some sport flying with it. And when I start pitching it forward and back and do full speed, that's when it kind of drops down. And I think what's happening is the battery doesn't have enough C rating. And what that means is it's overloading what the battery can do. It's the output of what the battery does. Like your FPV drones will have a really high C rating, but a drone that's a camera drone will have a lower one. So if you put this thing through its paces and you try to push it fast, that's what it does. It kind of drops down. It could just be the battery that I got. I could try the other one, but just kind of getting used to that's what it does. As long as you know that if you're pitching it forward really fast that it could drop down, then you know how to avoid it and just kind of fly it regularly, and it may not do it. See how it kind of keeps dropping down. If I let off the gas or let off the throttle, whatever you want to call it on a drone, if I quit pitching forward, it'll catch back up. So let's go inside and let's fly it. There it goes again. Let's go inside and fly it and see how it flies indoors. As you can tell, for drones, for mini ones, this one's really, really loud. So if you're flying it indoors and your mom's around, she's probably going to kind of get annoyed. Or you might even get annoyed with it after a little while because it is really loud. It is really stable, and the gyro seems to be working it really good. It's good practice to fly it indoors. But some of these little mini drones, when you bump them into the wall, they just regain themselves. And some of them, when you bump them into the wall, they kind of go crazy. Well, this is one of the ones when you bump it, it kind of goes crazy. So try to keep it from bumping into stuff. If it does kind of go crazy and you put it back in the air, let it reset the gyros. And sometimes you got to set it back down on a flat surface and then you can recalibrate it. I'll show you how to do that when we're going over the interface. But if it's just out flying around, it's not touching anything, flies really good, you'll start getting the hang of it. It does do flips. I wouldn't say doing flips is a good idea on these kind of drones. It just puts too much strain on the motors and batteries, and only bad things can happen. See, oop, I missed it. There's a flip right there. Anyway, let's sit down and let's go over the interface with the app, then we'll go back for our final review. I'll tell you what I think about this little drone. All right, so inside the box, you're gonna get the remote, you're gonna get the drone, you're gonna get 2 batteries. You slide on, they charge right here. It does come with a charging cable in here, some extra props, and a prop removal tool. So if you ever do need to replace one of these props, be sure and use that prop removal tool and get it underneath there and then use that to pry it off. Because if you try to pull this out, sometimes I pull the motor out, which breaks that wire, which makes the drone pretty much useless. It does come with a handy dandy screwdriver, an instruction booklet, and the QR codes for your app, iOS and Apple. So it looks just like the DJI Neo. I mean, they copied it almost to a T, except for the guards on it right here, which might be a better option if it had those guards that covered these props. There's my dog. They even turn on the same way. You push this button. Camera does go up and down, not manually. It'll blink until you turn the remote on. It's still not bound. I think you have to go up and down on the left stick. Now it's bound. Now it quit blinking. So up and down on the left stick binds it. Up and down on up here. Even if you never want to use the camera. It did come with an attachment that goes on the top of here that you put your phone, but it kept falling out, and so I discarded that because I kept dropping my phone. Right here, this is headless mode. Don't use that. That takes away the orientation of the drone. The whole point of this was to try to learn how to fly a drone. What that means is even if the drone's sideways, it's going to go in the direction that you point it. You want to use the orientation of it. Right here, take off button. Right here, changes the lights and makes it spin. Right here is your trim buttons. So if it's flying, it seems to be just drifting to the left or the right, you can push on these trim buttons and it'll adjust it. It takes a little bit of practice, but you'll get the hang of it. And then right here is the flip button. I wouldn't do many flips with this drone. I mean, I just think that puts a big hard charge on these little batteries and motors. So I flew it with my phone, but let me show in my iPad. You open up your camera, open up the App Store. It'll take you to this app, you download it. So this is a Wi-Fi drone, so it has to, for it to connect, for the camera to connect to the device, it goes through the Wi-Fi of the device. Like on these, it uses the telemetry from the remote, but this one actually has to translate the telemetry through the device. So open up the app. So if you hit start button, it's not gonna work. Nothing's gonna work because it's not connected. So you gotta open up your settings, go to your Wi-Fi, see flow 510 right there, hit that. Now it's got to check. So now go back to the app, and now it's working. So it's not a very good camera, but that's how you get it to work. This goes back and looks at the pictures that you took, take off. I wonder if that'll work on the app. I never tried it on the app. Better hold it. Hit take off. See, the takeoff button won't even work. There, take a picture. Take a video. Has a timer right here. I want to go back and look at them, and it shows you the picture that we took. Fantastic. You can trash it there. You can look at the video that we took. Terrible. When you go back, if you hit back, you can go into your settings and you can change some different settings on it. It even has a firmware update. It's supposed to have a motion that'll follow you and stuff. It's not gonna follow you. Don't do any of this stuff reverse. I mean, this is all, it's a $50 drone. It doesn't have the telemetry. It does have a zoom though. That's pretty cool. Let's see what she weighs in at. She weighs in at 66 grams. So it's way underneath the 250. So how much is 66 grams? Well, 66 grams is about the same weight as a bin of full little thing of lunch meat. Oh no, wait, that's 91, that's 92 grams. It's about the same weight as, it's almost about the same weight as a thing of bin of full lunch meat. Wait, why does that say Purina? I thought Purina, I didn't know Purina made human food. Wait, is this dog? There's a dog on here. Let's go back for our final review. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching my review of this little D-16 drone. What do I think about it? Well, that all depends. If you're buying a drone because you want a nice camera, forget it. You saw the camera, it's terrible. Doesn't even take good photos. There's just too many drones out there that are just a little bit more that have a much better camera. If you're buying it to learn how to fly a drone, because you've always heard me say, buy a little micro mini drone, this one doesn't fly half as good as this one. And this one's $18. It kind of flies a little bit funky. Sometimes it gets a mind of its own, especially indoors, but it does have good flight time. There's a little bit of delay in the remote, in the control sometimes, and sometimes there's not, so that kind of makes it a little bit more difficult to fly, but it does have good flight time, and it does, and the gyro one, it seems to work really good. And the interface with the app works good, even though the camera doesn't. Do I think it's a gimmick? A little bit, but man, they did a really good job of copying this DJI Neo. So it is kind of a novelty item if you want to have something that just looks cool because it looks so much like the DJI Neo. I got to give it to them. They did a really good job of copying it. I just wish they'd take the camera off and put a better gyro in it to make it fly just a little bit better. So if you've bought one and your fly is better than mine and I just happen to get one that doesn't fly so good, let me know. Maybe they'll send me another one and I'll do another review to see if this one's better, because it is cool looking. I got to give it that. For the price point of $35, this doesn't look like a $35 drone, but there's just too many other options out there that are just a little bit more, that have a better camera and fly a lot better. And as always, if you got something out of this, please like and subscribe, guys. Subscribers mean everything to me on this channel. And I'll have the review of the DJI Neo coming out soon, if I'll quit playing with it every time I pull it out to shoot a video and actually make the video. I'll see you in the next one.